So Corey, how was like to work on Shenmue 3 like compared to the two first games? Like was it different because of the budget? What like did you feel working on Shenmue 3?
Yeah, so we filmed. I'm sorry, we voiced it here in Los Angeles, which is what I think is it's interesting because there's good sides and bad sides to everything, right? I think a lot of people had that very familiar feeling with one and two because it was voiced in Japan, and here in LA, I think we had a really great opportunity to do the best we could with what we were given. You know what I mean? So we had like one sound guy, and we had our editor Bill Black, and we had our studio here in Burbank, and everything was like it was like I don't know, man. It's like because technology has changed so much, it was so easy compared to before because before
Yeah,
you had to run the video, you had to like really you had um to really match up, and it was more difficult. And we had scripts, we had like paper scripts like this thick, we're several inches thick of script. And I kind of came in every day and there was like a book there waiting for me. It's like, oh man, I gotta read Moby Dick again today because it's like 600 pages of talking to vendors or whatever. But yeah, like everything's there's a big TV screen, and there's a TV screen up there on top, so it's easy just to bring everything up. The script was all digital. A lot of times we could just do my dialogue if I'm talking to vendors or whatever, so you can just take out everybody else's dialogue, and then you're like, oh wait, we're talking about something else here. Oh, we're here at the temple, we're talking to whoever. So we bring up the rest of the script. We're able to see everybody else what they're saying, and I can respond to that. Um, and sometimes we had the actors as well who had already voiced it, so they could pipe in the voice actors that I could use my act off of their voice as well. So technology just made things a lot more smooth. You know what I
yeah, I
mean?
can imagine.
So film voicing 3 was just was the easiest of one to of all of them. So that it's like I wish that I could go back to Japan and voice it over there because I miss everybody over there. It's like a second home to me. I spent a lot of time over there, and the people were just so lovely. So I kind of missed doing that, but man, I tell you what, it was so easy doing it
Yeah,
here in LA. You know what I mean?
yeah. So I have some questions that some followers like made. So I want to read them to you. So the first question was made by Jessica. How was to work on Shenmue 3 with your daughter? I can imagine you are very proud of her.
Yeah. Oh man, are you kidding me? Oh, that was the best. My daughter is in the business. She's been doing stuff wow, for years now. I mean, she started out doing commercials as well. She did like Big Lots and Target and all that kind of stuff. She um it's got some big national. Oh, she did one for the Olympics that was just a few years ago. And one thing that I'm really proud that she had done recently is that she had done a short film with uh, I'll have to maybe I'll give you guys the information about that. It's called Turducken, and it is actually being screened right now for short film with the Academy Awards. They got some people looking
Wow.
at that. So only 4% of all of the films that are made get viewed by the Academy Award folks for consideration and all that kind of stuff. So she has already been in a short film that's getting some recognition, and so I'm very very proud of her already in her just a few years that she's been acting. So for her to it's like coming full circle, right? With her being in the project with me. The very first voiceover project that I ever did was Shenmue, right? The very first voiceover project that my daughter had ever done was Shenmue.
Wow, that's awesome.
So yeah, it's like this big, you know, full circle. So I couldn't have been happier. I was so proud of her, and she did several voices, and she was so cute. And I actually got to be in the studio with her when she was recording those. So just so happy, so proud. Love it.
Nice. So the next question was done by Vinicius. Have you ever been recognized like on the streets or some events because of your voice?
Yeah, you know, I never expected to be recognized on the street, but it has happened, which is it blow my mind. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe it when people come up to me and they're like, "Hey, you're Corey Marshall, right?" I'm like, oh, yeah. It kind of weirds me out. You know what I mean? Because my face isn't shown, so I get to sort of enjoy a bit of anonymity, right? Like when I'm walking down the street, most of the time people don't recognize me, so I'm kind of happy with that. I get to do things that I love and be a part of big projects, but I'm not exactly like people don't recognize my face. So when it does happen, it's like, wow, it's bizarre. It's kind of strange. And it does happen, of course, a lot more at conventions and stuff like that. You know, when I'm walking around, yeah, every time I go to the LA convention or something like that, people always talk to me or recognize me. It's still kind of weird when people run out of line and still talk to me or want to autograph or whatever. So it's still a little weird, but it definitely does happen.
So just one more question made like by the followers. So Elton, he asked if do you think that Ryo you changed his motivation during the journey? For example, if he will like at some point forget the revenge, what is your opinion?
Yeah. Well, you know, I've always said that Hazuki's character is on a personal journey anyway. It's all about him growing into a new person, because in Shenmue 1, his father is taken from him and he decides to go on this quest for revenge. Now, what that means is that he gives up the girl that maybe he was supposed to be with, maybe he was going to marry, right? He gives up his schooling, right? Which means that he gives up his career. There was a path laid out before him, and it's gone now. So everything that he was supposed to be is now suddenly empty. It's all gone, and he has to forge his own path. So it's like the person himself was erased. So when he starts to go on this new journey, he's building up himself again. He's becoming a new person. So he has this idea of revenge, and I'm going to stop him. I'm going to kill him. Like that's his original thought. And when he goes on this journey, he meets, you know, all the people along the way, starting, you know, with the cat in the park. And you realize, oh, that this cat was also orphaned on the same day that he was, and he starts to feel a little bit more compassion. And then he starts to meet masters as he goes along the way. Each master has a life lesson for him, so, and if it's something about, you know, about his personality or about patience or about, you know, using martial arts as life lessons itself. So we're taken on this journey of him building up who he is again. So as far as his motivations changing from maybe revenge to you know, I kind of always say that there's a difference between revenge and vengeance. Maybe vengeance is that he's going to stop him. Maybe he's going to bring him to the hands of justice in one way or another. Is that possible? Yeah, I think it's very possible because, again, I think he's becoming somebody else. He is on his journey to become something that he never would have had the opportunity to do so otherwise. Without this tragedy in his life, he wouldn't become the master of himself. Yeah. And I believe that's the journey that he's currently on.
So have you heard about like that they will release Shenmue in the format of an anime? And
Yeah.
what do you think about this? And if you are going to work on this project too?
Yeah. You know, they're like super sneaky over there. They same. I found out again the same way that everybody else did. It's like, oh wow, there's going to be an anime. Sweet. um, I am all for it. I love it. From the things that I understand, that it's a Sega project. That they are hooking up with Adult Swim and some other companies. Um, so really, we kind of don't know what's going on. I mean, is it going to be about 1 and 2? Are they just going to animate 1 and 2? Are they going to do some other stories? You know, I was thinking like, oh, are they going to do other side characters? But then we saw the character renditions in Shenmue, or of Shenmue, and um, Hazuki was in it. So I was like, oh, okay, well, he's definitely going to be in it. So, you know, that looks cool. And I actually I thought it was cool. How they animated, how they drew it. I thought that was kind of
Yeah.
cool. So I am ecstatic. I really hope that I, get to be a part of the project. I know it's kind of going through some other companies, so we don't know if they're going to hire their own people, if they're going to do their own auditions or anything like that. But I want to tell all of the fans out there, if you feel a particular way about what actors should be in there, then you should let everybody know.
Yeah, good.
But the thing is that I would love to be a part of it. It looks great. I've done animation before. I'm familiar with it, and I would love to be a part of it. I think it's great. I think it's a great idea, and it would be a lot of fun. I would love to be a part of it.
Nice. So do you believe that Shenmue 4, we are going to get Shenmue 4 at some point?
You know, a lot of people have asked me this question, and I have to say that I have confidence that 4 will be made, and I'll tell you why. Because there was, I think we learned a lot of lessons as far as distribution is concerned. There was some, they realized that maybe in Japan it doesn't sell so well, but they had really a lot of success in other places. Like I remember some of the fans in the UK were telling me that it's all sold out. We can't get them. There's not enough of them. In fact, even like Amazon in the UK, they were all sold out there too. So I said, okay, great. We learned some lessons there, right? But then a lot of other companies got involved, right? Like Deep Silver and all these other companies that I believe their investment in the project and their ideas and all that kind of stuff, with them getting involved, I thought, oh, okay, maybe this is how we're going to get Shenmue 4, because they're interested in it. And if this many different companies are interested in it, I thought, hey, we might get 4. So I don't know. I don't have any inside information. As you can probably tell by this interview, they don't tell me anything. Tell me anything until like it's announced at another E3 or something like that. So, but I have to say, I feel confident that we'll get at least 4. I'm hoping for at least 4. Of course, I always want more. I would love to see 5 and 6 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel as far as 4 is concerned, I think that it might happen.
Awesome. So the last question for us to finish it. What advice would you give for someone that is starting like his or her career right now and wants to be like an artist like you? What could you tell for these people?
Yeah. Oh, you mean like a voice actor?
Yeah, voice actor, yes.
Yeah. So, I always tell people like, do the work, right? So when I had done voiceover, I had lots of experience in different areas of entertainment, but I had brought all that into voice acting, right? So if people want to be a voice actor, first of all, be in the location where the voice acting is happening. Like, for example, here in the United States, there's a lot of animation that happens in Texas. So if you want to be in animation, I might recommend that you move to Austin, Texas. If you want to do video games and all that kind of stuff, I'll be like, hey, move to LA. You know what I mean? There's lots and lots of opportunity for people to do that. And then like start to immerse yourself into voiceover. You know, take your classes, do your voiceover specific classes. You know what I mean? And then just like start talking to people who are voice actors. You know, start making friends, and they'll tell you tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff, and be like, hey, this is how I do my home studio. You know, like this is how I do my auditions at home, and just make it your world, you know what I mean? And just really sort of immerse yourself into it. But I think one of the big things that people, I want to let people understand is like, yeah, start to do the work, you know what I mean? It's not enough to be able to do a great Stewie impression, you know what I mean? Like, if you've got Family Guy impressions, that's great, you know what I mean? But you have to be an actor first. So I want to encourage people like, look, you need to be an actor before you can just imitate things. Imitating things is great, but that's secondary. First is to be a good actor.
Awesome. So Corey, thank you so much. It's a really honor, and I'm really happy. I can't believe I'm here, you know, like we had this interview, and this interview I will be posting on the page Dreamcast Ultimate on Facebook and on the channel Titan Game Studio. So first I will put the subtitles, and then I will split in parts, and I send you the links when it's done, okay?
Okay, well, you know, when you're putting the subtitles, make me sound cool, okay?
Okay, thank you so much. I already want to invite you to another interview after we get Shenmue 4, okay?
Oh, yes, definitely, please.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye, see you.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too, bye.